What's going on, guys? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. Today we've got episode 7 of the Let's Play, so we're going to crack on with it. Before we do, I'm just going to insert a quick face reveal. A few people have asked me for that now that I've got to 10,000 subs, so yeah, little footage of me waving. Hiya. Right, now I'll have a chat about the channel, inspiration, that sort of thing, but before we jump in, I just want to do a little recap. Obviously, I know not everybody watches all the episodes, and yeah, we'll just talk about where we're up to. So we're still going to carry on with Siphon Blood, Scythe of the Cycle, Iron Rose, and the Blood Type Blade in the cube, because we really want to be blasting out the Death Novas still. I did have a little look at trying to rework the build, but pretty much I've decided we're going to keep it like this for the moment. Just want to get the Messerschmitt Reaver before probably reworking into something else. Now off camera I've upgraded the gems to the next level up, so we've got a little bit more armor. I also upgraded a ring, and I was lucky enough to get a convention of elements, so we're going to ramp it up to T10. We're completely out of keys, but let's see, yeah, 0 keys, so basically we just need to go get some. Now I think we'll probably do a few on T10, see how we go. Might go and off and do some rifts, but we yeah, pretty much just in a fairly decent difficulty. We're also running the Corpse Lance still, so we've got the Corpse Whisper Pauldrons on, and also yeah, Corpse Lance and stuff with Brittle Touch, so that's quite nice as well. Now finding the convention is pretty handy. It just pretty much means that we're missing a Crispies. It can be a bit of a pig sometimes to get, so we'll just have to see how we do with it. But I'm obviously, guys, extremely happy the channel's got to 10,000 subs. It's well more than I thought would be possible. I kind of just started the year and said, you know, my goal is to make 100 videos. I'll kind of sort of see where I am at the end of that, and I think I've made, it's either 85 or 86 or something like that, I think. So I've still got some more to do, so this obviously is another one. But yeah, it's gone really well. I'm really pleased. I've improved a lot. My videos, I think, are definitely better than the early ones. I still think there's tons of room for improvement. I've got I want to kind of make the videos a bit better in terms of dropping in some other footage, like little clips of other stuff, and maybe some sound effects and that sort of stuff. So I've got a few bits to brush up on and work out how I'm going to do them. So that'll be nice. Inspiration wise, there's been, you know, quite a lot of people in the Diablo 3 community who've inspired me. Probably number one would probably be Lord Fluffy. I absolutely loved his Necro videos when he used to do a lot of them when Necro first came out. You know, they were really good high energy builds, focused pretty much only on speed farming, which, you know, I quite like. That's what we do spend obviously most of our time doing in this game. I like the music in his videos. You should probably can tell from the fact that I've borrowed some of the tracks that he's used and carried on that kind of theme. I know the music's not for everybody, and some people don't like it, but I don't know. I just think it adds a little something, and it also kind of like hides the whir a little bit from my computer. Next up, Bloodshed. There's been a massive inspiration. I love the way his channel is. It's really chill. It's really helpful. He's just super nice. He's just he just wants to help people. I reached out to him when I first started to ask if I could use some of his footage for one of my videos. He instantly got back, you know, yeah, that's cool, just link the channel. Seems like a really nice guy. I'd definitely like to meet him in real life and have a beer. I think that would be pretty cool. Probably not likely to happen given we live thousands of miles apart, but you never know, maybe one day. Yeah, and his guides, they're quite good, nice and chill. You know, gives his honest opinion. He tries to treat things fairly. You know, keeps the same sort of Paragon level, and bits like that for his builds, so you can get a good gauge of what's strong and what's not. And I kind of like that. Again, it's, you know, as a casual player, it's his content's helped me out a lot. And then finally, I would probably say Riker, who obviously does tier lists, build guides, does a lot of other gaming stuff now and gaming news. But again, as a new player, his guides are really well put together, very easy to follow and understand, and yeah, really nice presentation style. So again, it's you know, it's people like that who've really made me want to do this, because I just found that there wasn't enough D3 content for me as a Diablo fan. I wanted there to be more. I'd always kind of like hoover up people's videos really quickly, and I just kind of wished that there was more. And that's why I kind of started the channel, really. Just there wasn't as much material that I you know, I wanted to watch more than there actually was. And yeah, I think that's probably helped me a little bit, because I'm one of the few people who actually carries on, you know, making build videos and discussion videos during the course of the season. Because obviously, you know, it's busy around PTR, it's busy around the season launch and a few weeks up to that, and then obviously the views and the interest drops off. But I still think there's enough people kicking about who are still interested in the game. You know, maybe not playing the whole season, but enough to, you know, want to have a little bit of a daydream about next season and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that was pretty much why I started the channel. Now I probably do need to invest in some extra kit actually for the channel. I need to probably there's Rift Guardian. Need to probably update both my editor and also the my PC that I play on and my Mac and stuff. So I've got like a face cam to buy as well. I just at the moment don't feel terribly comfortable in front of the camera, because the channel really is, it's not about me, it's about this game. And I don't think I'm at the level where people are particularly interested in what I've got to say about, you know, other things. Maybe that'll change and maybe it's something I'll grow into, but for the moment I don't think I'll be doing too much filming. But I'm open-minded. Anything can change. I need to get a little studio set up at home. It's been on the to-do list for a while. I think I mentioned it in the past, but once I've got that up, once I've got a regular setup, something I'm happy with, like, you know, maybe a nice camera, then yeah, it's a possibility. Let's see, I think we've got a broken crown, pestilent shoulders, mage fist gloves. It would have been really nice if we got those stone gauntlets. That's a fairly okay amulet. We might keep that. Might be worth using in the future. And the broken crown we'll probably use at some point. Could maybe use that instead of the sages. Get some extra gems. For the moment, I think we'll leave it. I've still got to do this week's challenge Rift. It's Saturday and I haven't bothered doing it yet, so again I'll have another goodie bag next episode, I guess. Alright, so yeah, blue goblin, that's fairly handy. Didn't get too much out of it, but let's just have a quick look. So we're doing 45. So yeah, we probably could go up to tier 11 possibly fairly soon, but we'll do we'll just keep doing keys for a little while, and then maybe rank up some more gems. But we can sort of see the Nova's not struggling, but it's you know, you really can see the difference between single target and groups now, and that's kind of how the how it goes. Because like if you're getting like little enemies and there's 4 or 5 of them, you're gonna absolutely flatten them. So I suppose that's another change you made. Actually, I've swapped the gem in the helm to the cooldown one to a diamond. just so that we've got better access to the golem and the flash pile, and also greater access to Land of the Dead. Because like with 50%ish CDR, it's back, you know, once a minute you get it, so that's quite nice. Well, I got the GR. Don't even have a Boon of the Horde on. I was mucking around with the build before starting, and I've not got the Boon of the Horde on. So yeah, toughness wise, that's that means we should easily be able to do T11, because we're not really taking much damage. Should have noticed that earlier. No gold exploding. Never mind, we'll swap that when we get back to town. Now we've had a fair bit of D3 news actually lately. So I think it was about a week or so since I did the last video, and in that time, we don't have 267 yet, but it does look like it's coming pretty soon, because Bloodshed basically said he's messaged Neverlistus. She was in Big Daddy Den's stream and said she'd been working on the patch notes. So I think Bloodshed messaged her and just sort of said, you know, what's going on? Is it likely to be any time? And I think the response he got was soon, which obviously, you know, your community manager for stuff like that is always going to be vague, because it's you know, it's just you don't necessarily want to be telling people exactly when it is, because it might get delayed and that sort of thing. But I'd hope that it's going to be in the next week or two, and that obviously would be great, because this patch cycle seems to be pretty much at an end. It's, you know, it's changes are just good. You know, it means I get to make more videos, get to discuss more stuff, which is nice. So hopefully speaking 267s fairly soon. And if it's like 266, I think we'll be pretty happy. You know, a few more extra legendary powers, maybe some set tweaks. Now, one of the things that they have kind of indicated that we may get in their patch is firstly some Legacy Dreams changes. So I did make a video about that yesterday, and I kind of the proposed change is basically to make it have a greater drop chance than it does at the moment. So the idea is that you find it earlier in the season. Now, I can only assume that it would be the absolutely most casual of players who would complain about that, because, well, I don't know, maybe that's wrong, but you know, it's a guaranteed drop. It's going to come eventually. Obviously, it took us a bit of time to get it on this series, but you know, it did drop. It wasn't last. It's not been coded into the game as last. It's just got the same amount of probability as dropping as any of the gems, really. And what they want to do is they want to change it so that it has got a higher probability drop chance. So the idea would be that it is more likely you'll find it as your second gem, because it seems like they're going to keep the Bane of the Powerful as a guaranteed first drop. Now, there were some more proposed changes that I think somebody put on the forums as a suggested change. They said, you know, maybe we could get it so that it drops with the 6-piece Haedrig. Now, I don't think that's a great idea as I covered in the video. I just think you're going to end up waiting for it for ages, which is no good. Alright, let's have a look. What did we get? Nothing of any use. So we're going to just bin all that stuff, because even if it's ancient, we're not going to use it. So now maybe the shoulders we might have used if they were ancient. I need to make a checklist and just make sure we've got ancient bits and bobs. Right, let's saved it wrong, that's why. So we need that out, and we need that in, and then I just need to check in the cube. We've still got the yeah, still got the gold up. So it's just a legendary gem was wrong. So let's save that. Okay, we'll do one more, and then we'll go and do some rifts. I think we probably should be not far away from 50. But yeah, a few people are asking, are we going to do GR70 this episode? Sadly not, guys. It's not going to be that quick. You know, we're doing well. I'm pleased with the progress, but it's going to be a little bit longer before we are probably hitting that hard. It'll be interesting to see. We'll get a bit more of a gauge for it if we do a few more. I think it was 50 was on the board when I initially started the series, so I assume that's gone up. But we'll see. You never know. We might get on the board. That'd be quite fun, quite exciting. Now I've completely forgotten what we were chatting about. Was it the Legacy Dreams changes? I think dropping it on the 2-piece set bonus would probably be cool. I could get behind that. I could definitely get behind it being a higher drop chance. Personally, I would just make it the first gem that you get, because I do like the whole kind of bespoke building of your character. And the other thing that was up for discussion is should the gem be capped at rank 50? Now I don't think that's like with a view to it being nerfed, so it's like it does half the damage. I would definitely not support that. I do, my views. I do like Legacy Dreams builds. I think they should be the strongest. So I wouldn't personally cap it. But I could get behind it only going to 50 and having essentially double rewards. So as in, it's at rank 50, but it still has all the same benefits at the moment as 99. I mean, the game is in a state where it's not that hard to get a gem up to 99. I mean, it's not that easy. It's not like a complete given. You can't just stick on a set and get to 100. So from that point of view, I suppose it is a little bit moderately restrictive, as in you've got to play the game a fair bit, or have a decent degree of knowing what you're doing to get it working. And that, in theory, is kind of makes the Legacy of Nightmares ring set more viable, because obviously you can just collect it. The downside again is that you've got to get everything as ancient for that. So it seems as though, like, I'm really happy with the gem. I think it's a great addition, but I think maybe what they want to rework it is so that casual players could use it a little bit more, so it's kind of not as punishing as Legacy of Nightmares, so that everything doesn't have to be ancient, and it's also not as onerous, i.e. you don't have to get the thing up to 99 to be doing your full damage. Now I personally don't see a problem with it, so I would leave it as it is, but then I'm also not against changing it, because if you only have to rank it up to 50, then that's absolutely fine with me. It just means we get to progress through the content a little bit quicker. I don't mind that. But it's good that they're willing to look at these things. It's not like they just put it in the game and just gone, right, well that's it. It does show to me there's an interest in still providing some balance. I suppose that probably brings me to the next thing that's kind of been rumoured. I think I picked this up from the New Meta podcast. They're basically saying that there might well actually be some nerfs. Oh, that was a mistake. Maybe get some still a bit of Land of the Dead. Where is he? There. No. But yeah, they might actually make some nerfs for the next patch, which I'm not sure how that would go down. People don't like nerfs. Pick up all this stuff and let's get back to town. We'll have a little bit of chat about balance once we've Sifted through our goodies. I can't remember. Did we pick anything up? Oh, look at this. Could have had that. It's nice being able to stand in the explosions. Right, let's go back. Have a little bit of a chat about balance afterwards. No legendaries. What a crummy rift. Right, let's get rid of all that. Let's put on the GR and then let's see how far we can go. Still, I keep forgetting. Sound is always off. I'm recording build videos. Alright, there we go. Back on. So, stick this back in the stash. Boom, boom, boom. I think we'll probably just go as high as we can. Just check I've got the Leorix on. Yep. Okay. So I think it's 45 T10. There's some ooh, look at these lovely Paragon points. Nearly maxed out on cooldown, so that's quite nice. So let's just do 47. Sod it. Let's see how far we go. Nice map, so that's handy. And look at this for density. Amazing. Absolute Nova Dream, this map. Messerschmitt's Reaver Dream map as well. Absolutely lovely. Look at this. Oh. Right, the only thing we've got to worry about now, because we're doing over T10, is kind of got to pay attention a little bit at the end of the rift, just to make sure that I'm not being a complete donut and accidentally not having Land of the Dead available when the Rift Guardian comes. But the Lornell Sunstone helps us out quite a lot, because provided we don't get one shot, which we don't seem to be in danger of at the moment, if you don't get one shot, that is one of the best toughness items in the entire game, because your toughness scales up depending on how much life you're missing. So once you get to, like, if you did manage to get down to 10% life, it's 90% damage reduction times by like 0.95, which is just bonkers level of damage reduction. The only downside obviously is getting one shot, and if it wasn't for the fact that you do get one shot, it would probably be used in pretty much, I'd guess a lot of Necro builds would really benefit from it, from the extra toughness. But it's a good if you can stack enough damage reduction. It's something I used a lot on hardcore on the Xbox. I did used to just pop Land of the Dead. We should be able to get it back before the Rift Guardian. Slight risk, but should come back in time. But yeah, if you can stack enough damage reduction so that you do remove the ability for one shot, maybe put some points into vitality again just to stop yourself from getting one shot, then it's a really nice item. It's another thing that, you know, because you don't see it in build guide videos, I think people do get the wrong end of the stick with Necro, and they think that the class is squishy. But I tend to think it can be a really tough class. You know, the toughness that you can get from various different items is pretty big. So there you go, Land of the Dead back already. Happy days. We'll save it for the Rift Guardian now. But yeah, it's hard to get your brain used to the Lornells, because obviously normally when your health goes down you start panicking. And I'm not saying that it makes you invulnerable, you can't just ignore stuff, but generally the further it goes down, the more toughness you've got. So I reckon we could do 50. We're still picking up legendary gems as well. Oh. This is weird when that happens, you get the little enemies that are still there. Okay, so I think let's just go for the Legacy Dreams. We'll just get this ranked up. More damage is going to be beneficial. Yeah. So even that's probably about a 20-25% power jump. It does ratchet up pretty quickly, this gem. Yeah, 47 in 3 minutes. So the only thing we've got to worry about really is dying. I didn't really feel too close then, so let's try. Neither of them are crispy, so let's just try Torment 11. We'll jump in and see how we do. Yeah, health's going down a little bit more. I probably should have looked to see what we need to do board wise to getting on the board. But you know, at the end of this we'll have another 5 levels on the Legacy Dream, so we'll be hitting hard. And this is a bad mob type for Necro. These little fireball firing things. Definitely an enemy that hurts us a little bit. Now in terms of balance and the nerfs, which I think we were talking about and I just totally forgot. I mean, I think at this point, assuming D4 is coming, you're going to have a think about, you know, what kind of state you want to leave this game in, and how you want people to experience the last couple of years, I guess, last 12-18 months of Diablo 3. And I think it's I think the end of this game surely will be where every class can do 150 and everybody can do 150 solo. And that might make it a bit boring, and you might find that you end up with a lot of player drop off if you can actually get to the end, because that's, you know, one of the main attractions of rifting is there is no end to it. But so from that point of view, I'm not overly concerned with nerfing things. Again, fairly happy for things to be buffed, but it is pretty clear that Veers is extremely powerful as like just a setup out the door build, and Thorn's Necro is obviously very, very powerful. But it's funny, the kind of, I think the post that the guys were talking about in the new mess was saying that they don't really like nerfing things, but sometimes things are unintended, so I'm not entirely sure what it is that they're getting at. It could well be the stone gauntlet thing. Oh, we'll take that all day long. Shield pylon. But yeah, I do like this build. It's fun, and it's really, really great for trash and really good for a single target. Suppose if we're at 50 now, to go up through the toughness, we'd need to probably double our toughness at least a couple more times. Obviously, as we add Paragon, we'll get more toughness as well, but watch, bang, lovely. And with the power pylon, you should disappear pretty quick. Yeah. Gogok or Swiftness. But yeah, obviously really want to unlock primals, so maxed out on blood shards. Okay, that's fine. I'll go back and spend them. I bet none of this stuff is useful. Need more Oculus rings and broken promises. $50. Alright, what have we got? An ancient ring. Ooh, so that's quite handy. Leoric Signet, no use at all. Oh, if that had a socket on it, that would be perfect. Let's just have a little look and see if we've got the mats to re-roll this, because it would help us out an awful lot. Damage. I don't want to give up a legendary gem. Take another few stabs at it. Socket's a really pain in the butt thing to hit. There's just so much in the RNG pool. Right, I'll take one more go. No. Okay, we'll stick it in the stash. We'll worry about it later. Worth a go. I mean, Ancient Ring would give us extra damage and damage reduction. It's a pretty nice power increase. We don't need the Oculus because the follower's got one. Right, let's salvage. So I wonder if we go too high, can we get on the board? Don't want that. Don't want that Leoric Signet really. We don't want non-ancient shoulders. So let's add on the Paragon. We're nearly at 200, so that's quite nice because that means that we are maxed out on cooldown, which is obviously pretty important. So I think, what do we want? We probably still want the Crispins, don't we? Puzzle ring. That is too expensive. We'll stick the puzzle ring in the stash, I think. Not going to go and do Greed's Realm now. Okay, right. Let's go and do 52. See if we can get on the board with that. Probably end up dying trying to chase. I should have looked, because I mean, if it's like 60 or 65 to get on the board now, then obviously that's we're not going to get close. I'll have to look for the next episode if we don't get on. But it's it is nice. You know, the damage does go up pretty quickly with this Legacy Dreams. But yeah, balance-wise, I think the game should be in a state where I'd say pretty much every set has got at least one build that is capable in the same kind of range. So Veers is obviously very quick, very strong. I would like, you know, in theory, all of the wizard sets to be that strong, all the necro sets to be that strong. Possibly maybe not quite that strong. And I would like Legacy Dreams to pretty much be kind of where Veers is. I'd want that to be top for everything. But we'll have to see what they do. And obviously we've got BlizzCon coming up. We've got the new sets at some point, so you know, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it'll be a good patch. And if we got a set, that would just be amazing. It'd be just so nice. If they do drip feed those over the course of seasons, like if they do, like, I don't know, a new Barb set next season, a new Demon Hunter the season after that, the leaderboards would be quite funny, because obviously I think most people would probably play the new stuff. Oh, nearly got trapped then. Yeah, this is we're still shredding this, and this is 52. So toughness wise, could we take 57? Could we go up again, another doubling? Possibly. Be pushing it past that at the moment. But the Lornel's really is saving our life quite a lot of the time, because once you do start to take damage, it's just the extra DR of it. It's just so nice. So nice. I'm getting some pretty nice maps though. So, you know, there's always that. I've got Land of the Dead available, but I think we'll save it for the Rift Guardian now. shouldn't be too far away. Now, other news, things just don't really get much easier for Blizzard at the moment, and I think a lot of people would probably say it's it's self-inflicted and you've got to live by your choices. But the whole kind of free Hong Kong and nearly proc then. Ooh, that was close. Close. But we would have had the cheat death, and when you do get down to 20%, then the Lornell does help us out a lot. It's still 3.5 minutes. Alright, so what did we get? Let's go Legacy Dreams again, I think. Oh, was that post level 70 Stuart Greaves and a Flavour of Time? Ooh, interesting items. Right, let's whack on this Paragon and then we'll have a little look. So we'll be at 200 after this next rift. Provided we've got a key, that is. Ancient Stuart Greaves. No, but never mind. There's still a significant upgrade. Oh, happy days. 8% cooldown roll, crit, move speed. It's a bit of a bummer it's rolled with cold. Interesting. Double pile-on effects and it's ancient. So we could ditch the Lornell Sunstone out the cube and get rid of the Johnstone. I think for the moment we'll stick that in the stash, and I'll try and have a think as we play as to whether we're going to be using that or not. Right, keys wise, still got 3, so I think we'll go up another level. We did nearly die that time, but don't want to be salvaging that pestilent stuff. I don't know, maybe I should just salvage it. We'll keep pestilence. I don't really see myself playing the sets, but you never know. Especially as we don't really know when the next patch is coming out, the next season. Right, let's do 53. See how we get on. But yeah. So yeah, the Blizzard controversy at the moment. I mean, I'm not a particularly political person, I'll be perfectly honest. But it is annoying when you see people's speech being censored. And I think basically what's happened is a Hearthstone player has been at a tournament, has been interviewed after the end of the tournament and made a political statement asking for Hong Kong to be freed, or some kind of political situation where China is I don't know, they wanted to restrict, I think it was, they wanted to get an extradition treaty from Hong Kong to China, and they were worried that they were going to basically take people who are anti-communist, anti-Chinese out of Hong Kong and basically stick them in the slammer or whatever it is that they wanted to do. And I think the bill ended up getting revoked due to all the protests in Hong Kong, but people are obviously still pissed about it. Now the guy basically was doing an interview with the 2 casters, and he made a statement along the lines of free Hong Kong, and he got insta banned for a year, got his prize money taken away from him, and the 2 guys who did the interview got sacked as well. And I think Blizzard now have kind of gone back and said, well, you can have the prize money because he won the tournament fair and square, which is probably right. That's the correct thing. Just because he made a political statement doesn't mean he wasn't the winner, so I agree with that. And I think they've reduced his ban to 6 months, and the same for the casters. Now I think the casters were kind of egging him on to say it, and I think that's why they got in trouble. But it's bad timing, you know. We've got BlizzCon coming up. You were kind of hoping that we'd get to a situation where we could put last year's kind of mess behind us with the Immortal announcement and the you know, everybody being completely cheesed off with that. And it just looks like it's just too soon, as in I can't see all of this stuff blowing over before BlizzCon, and that means that we're going to get memes again, and it's just going to be difficult to deal with, because I'm really excited for Diablo 4. I'm hoping it's going to get announced at BlizzCon. I want to kind of enjoy it without having to go through loads of memes and stuff like that. But as I say, I think there are people who, and I can certainly see the point of view, would argue, well, this is Blizzard's own making, and you know, they didn't have to ban the guy, you know. But it's been interesting. I've actually had you know, people ask me about it in real life, which is weird. You know, normally speaking, if I say to people I make Diablo videos, they kind of look at me a bit blankly and go, yeah, what's that? I've never heard of it. But obviously with the controversy, I've had a few people ask me. So I think we're done with legendary gems by the looks of it. Seems as though they've all dropped, so that's nice. And we'll just plump for the legacy dreams. We really could do with plans for extra gems as well. That would be super handy. Oh, first failure. Right, we'll get working on Trapped next, I guess. I don't like losing gem chances. I know that's stupid, but it just annoys me. Right. So, over Paragon 200, so that's quite nice. Right, armour. We want armour. Armour. And we'll go life per hit, I think. Let's see, what do we get? Ancient Pestilence gloves. No cooldown. Hexing pants. Okay. And a Rathma. Rathma. So we're nearly at 6 pieces of Pestilence. Could, in theory, maybe give that a try. But I strongly suspect that by the time we get the extra pieces, and particularly by the time it would take us to get the Captain Crimson set, we probably won't be bothering. Let's spend some shards. Brig's Wrath, that's potentially usable. So again, we'll stick that in the stash. Let's upgrade this. Oh yes! Right, no socket, but that's pretty baller. Again, obviously it's just damage. We definitely don't want all res. Area damage, attack speed, intelligence. So crummy rolls. Crummy rolls. Might have to get this in the cube. Take a few stabs, see if we can get a socket on it, because that would help us. Cooldown or crit? Go cooldown. Take another 2 at it. 1, 2. No. So we're going to keep the cooldown. Right, so we could just drop the Trapped, because we're not really using that at the moment. So if we take that out of there, take the Trapped out of the convention, pop the Legacy Dreams back in there, put Crispies in there, and then that again should be a fairly decent damage buff. Until we get the Trapped up to 25 though, we're only going to proc the slow We're not going to proc the slow tool. We'll get the stun off. Or we could probably change that to stun. Change the bone armor. So let's do that. Right. Gems. Bang, bang, bang. Chuck that in there. Right. So skills wise, we're going to swap to dislocation. We're going to save that as it is, I think. Right. So Land of the Dead has become even more important. Should we do 55? We'll try for this. We might have to go get some more keys. But this is a T12, so that's pretty good. Nearly climbed up to T13. We'd obviously have no toughness issues running regular key farming for this. So these things should absolutely get blasted whilst Land of the Dead's up. Yep, nice. We're absolutely motoring now. The only problem we've got is going to be toughness. Toughness. And if we can work in the trapped, rank 25 trapped would give us a pretty good bonus for stuff that isn't stunned, but 50% CDR, 55% CDR, the bone armor comes back pretty quick. So we've kind of got quite a lot of free range now. But it becomes a bit of a puzzle because the Lornell is kind of stuck in the cube. I'm kind of a little reluctant to take that out. Just because it's like, you know, it is that extra form of insurance. If we do die. Not die, if we get low on health. So in terms of questions that I got for this Let's Play, somebody asked about auto pickup radius and auto picking up of mats. Now, I think this is something that they will look at eventually, because it's been on the list of things that people have wanted for absolutely ages, and they have said that they're going to look at some quality of life items, so that certainly is something that they could talk about. I probably would say that it probably should be an item in the game, and either it's a ring or an amulet or maybe a legendary gem, and basically you have to give something up to get it. I would think that could maybe be a decent idea. Oh, yeah, starting to hit pretty hard this. As long as you stay away from the arcane lasers, will be okay. But yeah, I think if there was an item, I think that would be interesting. Could certainly get behind that. Yes, this is getting a bit more of a struggle. Still doable. But damage wise, okay. I think maybe we'll start on T11 for keys next time. Maybe T12. Obviously we're still kind of waiting for more ancient items. So that nearly procced then. So we're not that far off getting one shot by things. So that's important to bear in mind. If we do crank this up, we're going to start getting one shot. And then the Lornell Sunstone becomes a lot less useful. So could maybe go for a toughness gem. Maybe we should do that instead of the trapped. Because we're flattening stuff with enough damage. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Boom, 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 boom. Just jump in this real quick. Yeah, easy peasy. I've got a ring. A couple of rings. Green rings, no use. Right. We could do Trapped, or we could do Gizzard, or we could do Legacy Dream. So let's get... let's do the Trapped. get that up to rank 25 at least. And then we've got the slow proc. That's a double damage modifier, so that's quite important. I'll have a look through our goodies. Is it another puzzle ring? So it's still not on the board, so it's obviously moved a bit. A few people have posted some clears finally for Necro. Let's have a little look. What do we get? Yeah, 2 puzzle rings. So I'll need to do them maybe at some point to get some gems or mats. It's a good way to get the plans actually for the gems, because you're much more likely to hit treasure goblins in there. Right, let's got one last key, so I think we'll do that. We'll go for we'll do 56, see if we can do that last key, and then not sure I want to push it too much past without getting maybe another layer of damage reduction. But we are at that point now where the build's doing fairly well, so it's going to be a tough choice to take something out. Maybe could take the Lornell out. It's just a bit of a risk, because obviously once you get to half your pool, it's kind of like 50% damage reduction. But yeah, I have to have a think. I have to have a look at it. We've still got the dainties. We haven't made use of that. With this particular build, it becomes hard to work it in, because the only real thing I can take off for it is either bone armor, which is a 30% damage reduction anyway, and it's also a stun. And, you know, and we need that for the Scythe of the Cycle anyway. So that's a no. And then the Golem, and again we're getting 30% damage reduction, and it's a nice pile of corpses. So the kind of high-end version of this build that we're playing at the moment anyway doesn't use the dainties, so it is a bit of a rework. So maybe it's keys. Maybe keys is what we need, because we need some DBs, and then we would be able to get. So things are starting to hurt now. You get trapped in corridors with these arcane beams. Never mind. Done. We still got Fueled by Death. I need to have a look at the build. We still got Fueled by Death on. That would be silly if I do. But yeah, 56. So again, if you rank up the gems, it's a lengthy process, but get a couple more ancient items, particularly the right slot, that could help us out as well. Tongue lashes, perfect. Shield pylon. Pop Land of the Dead. But yeah, auto pickup, absolutely fine with that. Got no problem with that being in the game in some form. You know, there's a bit of an argument that the less you have to click on things, the less engaging it is, but I think that, as I say, could be a good balance would be to have it as like an item. And the other question I got was somebody who's asking, as I'm a solo player, do I have any tips? I will be doing a tip video at some point, but I'd say the biggest tip really if you're a solo player is to just have a plan. You know, sit down, write out how you're going to spend your blood shards, how you're going to spend your DBs, what items you want to go for. You know, same for your augments, what order do you want to do them in, and just try and be as efficient as you can with your playtime, so that you know exactly what it is that you're doing. You've got your little check sheet to work through, because the biggest the biggest hindrance on your progress really is time spent changing your build, looking at items in town, working out what it is you're going to do. You know, Rax coined the phrase which I like, which is town is lava. You know, don't stand in it unless you absolutely have to. And I think that's probably quite a good tip. In terms of efficiency, you probably want to be doing stuff at about 3 minutes, because it gives you probably the best balance between finding items, blood shards, XP progression. You know, no real risk of dying. If you're doing something in 3 minutes, it should be fairly easy. So that's taken us about 4.5 minutes. That's not too bad. Got a potion as well, and an ingiome. That's potentially useful. Yeah, RNG's been fairly decent. Ingiome, Kimbo's gold, and another piece of Rathma. It's quite funny doing with only sheet damage of 300,000, doing 56. That's quite funny. 56 in 4 minutes. But the Paragon is adding up now. So attack speed. Why have we been putting points into attack speed? That's silly. Let's go crit chance. We should. I need to get a socket on the weapon as well. That's going to be pretty handy to get. I think I wanted to check the passives. Yeah, fueled by death. I don't know why I've got that on. That's silly. Shall we go for? I could go for dark reaping. That would help us out toughness wise. So let's do that. And then let's see what we got. A vigilante belt as well. That's pretty useful. Shame that's not ancient, but that's that could be a pretty useful belt. We may as well stick this on. Let's save that. And then we'll chuck the ingiome in the cube, and we're also going to keep the vigilante belt. If we had a few more ancients, so when we find our next ancient item, you know, we could get the crispy in the cube, get that ancient broken promises on. Maybe dump the dainties, maybe. Right, sorry about that, guys. Gonna have to cut this episode short. I've got something IRL to do, so I will be back in the next episode, and we'll be starting maybe on T12. I'll catch you next video. Peace.